Applied Behavioral Analysis, Lesson Number 2. Consequence-based interventions. Objectives. Number 1. To explain how consequence-based intervention weaken the problem behavior. Number 2. To define and provide examples of consequence-based interventions. Number 3. To explain characteristics of extinction. Number 4. To identify ways extinction is applied. Number 5. To define and provide examples of types of timeout. 3 types of consequence-based intervention. Extinction. It focuses on eliminating the maintaining reinforcer.
So the video that we're doing today is extinction procedures, and basically with extinction you're removing the reinforcement of the behavior, and there are 4 different types of extinction procedures. There's attention extinction, which will be planned ignoring, which you will see me demonstrate here with the learner. And there's also tangible extinction, in which the child is going to want this car and he's going to start crying and screaming and tantruming because he wants the car. There's also escape extinction, in which sometimes the child will begin to if it's in the middle of taking a task and maybe the problem gets hard, the child tends to just get up and wants to walk out. That's an example of an escape extinction. And then there's sensory extinction, which is basically times when the child wants to grab an object and maybe, hit himself or something of that sort. So today we're just going to go over a few of these, and we're going to start with attention extinction. So the child needs attention and he's going to start tantruming for attention. He knows that when he tantrums for attention, he normally gets attention. So what we're doing this time is, as he begins to tantrum and cries and scream, we're just going to ignore him. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what you just saw at the moment was attention extinction. What we did here was the planned ignoring. Now what we're going to do is, this is a tangible extinction. The child is going to tantrum because the child wants the car. Normally when the child tantrums, for example, if we're at the grocery store, the child wants a candy bar, the child begins to tantrum, the child gets the candy bar. But this time what we're going to do is, as the child begins to tantrum because he wants something, we're not going to give him anything. So here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. extinction, the child is crying for the car, but the child has not behaved, so the child is not going to get the car. Now we have escape extinction. So basically, in escape extinction, if the child is taking a test or answering some math problems, and when the child gets to the question that the child does not understand how to do, the child is going to attempt to escape having to take a test. He's going to try to get up and do something else. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to try to work on it. If you don't know how to do this problem, just skip it. Skip it to the ones you know how to do, okay? Okay, Jeremiah. When the problem gets hard, just skip the problem, okay? Jeremiah, what happened here?
I don't know this one, and I don't like it.
If you don't know this one, just skip the problem.
But I don't know that question.
Then skip it to the next problem. And then we can work on the ones you don't know together, okay?
Response cost. Response reduction procedure. Focus on providing aversive consequences.
This is an example of response cost. Alright, Susie and Hope, it's time for centers. Let's see what we're going to do in centers today. Alright, now let's remember, you earn points for good behavior during centers, okay? Need your point bank. Alright, here we go. Alright. Okay, the Hope is leaving our center. Alright, Susie, let's continue. Alright, Susie, what do you think is the main idea of the story that we just read? Oh, Hope is joining us back. Okay, Hope, because you got up and walked away from centers, you lost a point from your bank. Okay? That means that when it's time for prizes at the end of the day, that you might not have enough points for the prize that you want. Every time you get up and leave centers, you lose a point, okay? Alright, we're working on the main idea of the story, okay?
Number 3. Time out. Response reduction procedure. Focus on providing aversive consequences.
Today we're going to talk about a specific punishment type called timeout. Many parents use timeout as a default consequence to a behavior. Timeout is easy to use, acceptable, and can rapidly suppress behavior. But for timeout to be effective, one must understand the concept of timeout and how to use it effectively. First off, we need to understand what timeout is. Timeout is a form of negative punishment. The goal of a punishment is to reduce an undesirable behavior. Negative, in behavioral terms, just means something is being removed. In this case, timeout removes someone from access to a reinforcing environment. For timeout to be effective, the reinforcing time in environment must be desirable. Clearly defining what behaviors will result in a timeout must be made. Also, defining the parameters of the timeout, being consistent with its use, and having the timeout be an immediate consequence also strengthen its effect. If you get stuck, remember the 5 W's. We'll demonstrate. First of all, the 5 W's. Who, in this case Kai in the red. What, will receive a timeout. When, for 5 minutes. Where, in his room. Why, yelling. Let's see them practice.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Drawing? Oh, cool. I got something to show you. Check this out. It's like a little Lego guy, but he's got a watch on, a ninja watch on.
Oh, that's cool, Dad. Awesome.
Thought maybe we
That's
could
super
play with that a
awesome.
little bit.
Yeah. Hey, Holden! Give me back my ninja!
Kyle, I don't want you to yell. 5 minutes in your room. That is an example of an exclusionary timeout. I told Kyle what he did, yell, and why he needs to go to his room for 5 minutes. So he's excluded from what we might be doing, playing with something fun, a reinforcing environment. So now we'll talk about a non-exclusionary timeout. And try that. Welcome back, Kyle. So, like we were just showing and playing, he's a ninja. Yeah, and he jumps really high, flips, all kinds of fun stuff. Holden, you don't take things from people. Why don't you sit here for 3 minutes while we play? So that, we continue to play, is a non-exclusionary timeout, where Holden's sitting on the bench, he can see what we're doing, but he doesn't have access to the reinforcer, in this case, the toy and the play. So, exclusionary, someone leaves the room. Non-exclusionary, you can still see what's happening, but you don't have access to the reinforcer. Another example that's even quicker would be to withdraw my attention from Kyle. Say he yelled at me and I said, oh, I'm not going to listen to you for a while. And I'm punishing that behavior by removing my attention for a short period of time. In any case, timeout has a lot of cautions with it, but this is a good introduction to what timeout is, how to do it, and you need to remember that it is a punishment procedure. It does not teach anything, except it does stop or cease behavior. And that's about all you need to know right now.